Hey, welcome back everyone, Scotty Combat here, and I had just covered Madame Bo briefly in a live video. However, in this video, I want to take some more time analyzing the character and take a look at other characters that can be coming in MK1 as well. This was released with the T1000 trailer. You can see her pop out for just a moment. She seems like she's going to be a combo extension kind of character. Now, just by looking at her gameplay, I think she has kind of a Pharaoh resemblance, like jumping out and being able to perform a high or a low. Now, the beauty in this for me is there's a lot of people holding out for KP3 or more downloadable content in general, whether it's Combat Pack 3 or not, but there's people on the other side of the fence that didn't think we would get anything else in addition, and I'm just going to be straightforward that seeing Madame Bo coming to the game now does have me more optimistic. I could be totally wrong by the perception of thinking she has combo extenders, it's just the way it looked in the gameplay. MK1 has this cameo listed as defense and unorthodox counters. However, in the past they've also labeled other characters different things that didn't exactly line up to how they usually get played. I'm sure most of you saw the video I shared recently on Combat Pack 3 where I refer to it as a cameo pack, and I have speculation that it might actually be a cameo pack more so than a combat pack, and the way I see that as getting two main characters and then more cameos, because we've been due for cameos for a while. Ever since Chaos Reign, we didn't have any cameos, and Madame Bo's going to be our first cameo since Farah. And with that being said, the excited thing for me is I definitely don't think Madame Bo will be the last cameo. It would leave for an uneven roster if that were the case. Also, we could go off Fate Unknown's word that if KP3 is canceled, there's likely going to be some more cut content that's going to make it that's finished in production now. But the interesting thing in that is Madame Bo was never mentioned in it. Now, I don't know about you guys, Madame Bo might not be for everyone, but she's definitely a cameo I really look forward to. From the beginning, I was hoping she would be a main roster character or a cameo. I think she's a nice addition to Mortal Kombat. I do see her similar to Bo Raicho, as in kind of being a swap, but not fully, if that makes sense. Bo Raicho historically was a teacher of the White Lotus. He taught Kung Lao, he taught Liu Kang. Madame Bo also teaches characters in this timeline like Raiden and Kung Lao. I was never the biggest Bo Raicho fan, so I think Madame Bo's a nice welcoming. Another example of them being characters that are similar but trading vices would be like Bo Raicho being the drinker, Madame Bo being the smoker. I can't recall really any other characters that smoke in Mortal Kombat aside from Jax with the cigars. I'm sure there's probably some other characters that's just off the top of my head. Now, I'm not promoting smoking, but I would like to see this in the game as part of her character, like whenever they finish, if she just takes like a drag off the cigarette, I think that'd be pretty entertaining.
Fatality.
Make it happen. Also, real quick, did anybody else think that Madame Bo was floating when they first showed this? I thought maybe she had some extra Lin Kuei training or something, I don't know, but it took me a minute to realize the bar stool. So yes, in my opinion, I definitely think we're gonna see more cameos in the game. Now, I wouldn't say this confirms KP3, but it definitely helps put that passion there that there is a chance. I want to give a shout out to Headlocked for noticing this detail here, but did you guys notice that in this move here, T1000 is using Cabal's hook swords? I don't know how many other characters moves he's going to manipulate or show an appearance of. I saw a discussion of people asking whether anyone noticed Nightwolf's weapons being used in there like the tomahawks. I haven't seen any of that yet, but it is very apparent that those are Cabal's hook swords, and I think it's cool. I like when Mortal Kombat throws stuff in there from their own IP into guest IPs. Also, I do want to share for those curious, I am really excited for T1000 joining the game. Normally, I'm not a big fan of guest characters joining Mortal Kombat. At heart, I'm just a huge Mortal Kombat fan. Now, don't get me wrong, there are guest characters that I do like that join the game. Most of those were in MKX, and when I look at Mortal Kombat 1's guest characters now, my favorite ones to appear so far, and that's with saying characters I like individually from their own series, I would have to say it's Ghostface and T1000. These are the characters out of all the guests that I have looked forward to the most. Now, I want to share this shot here. You can see Madame Bo jump out. We don't get a whole lot of action from her, but we do get a little bit, so let me share some of that. Now let me show you that again just real quick. It looks like an overhead that's going to pop the opponent. I don't know, let me know what you guys think of that. Maybe that is a high into an overhead, but I am getting the vibes that she's gonna have like an overhead and a low similar to Farah. Again, I don't know, especially since Mortal Kombat 1's calling this Cameo a defense character and an unorthodox counter character. Again, I was just sharing a few videos ago, I do think it's possible we can see a Cameo pack rather than a Combat Pack 3, and to really make that pack sell, they're gonna need a couple main characters because I think it's far less likely people are gonna buy just a Cameo pack. And like I shared on there, I think it would be 2 main characters to help push that pack. I don't know who they would use though, but if I had to take a guess, I think one of them would be Cassie Cage. And if Cassie doesn't end up being one of the main roster characters, then I do think I could see her being one of the Cameo characters. There's a couple reasons I think that. One is because I know a lot of people like Cassie Cage, although the comments may not reflect that. Hell, I'll admit it, I think she's a great character. I'd like to see Cassie Cage in the game. But also with the Mortal Kombat 2 movie coming up, not that I think Cassie Cage will be in that movie, it'd be cool if she is, but I feel like it might play into that just a little bit. I don't know, I know I'm getting a little further away with that, just some speculation. Also, those of you that frequent my videos know that I've went over Kung Jin several times here. His character model is finished in Mortal Kombat, so I think it's also very likely he could end up being a cameo as well. I really do think we're getting more cameos. I thought she was a possibility early on in the game, and I was really excited for it. And I do want to share for those that don't know, this backdrop here, this is actually Kung Jin's model in the game. I know most people aren't looking forward to Kung Jin, but the more the merrier. I do want to see more characters in Mortal Kombat, especially Mortal Kombat characters. Also, I really do think there's a chance we'll get a guest cameo character. If you haven't seen this video of mine, check it out. I think it's probably going to be Chucky if they're going to use one. This video goes over the other guest characters that are possible in the game, and the reason I lean on Chucky is because Ed Boon goes for a lot of the horror characters, and I don't see any other game that would be as fitting as Mortal Kombat 1. Having a smaller character like Chucky that is being in the place of a cameo, because I really don't see him fitting as a main roster fighter in a future Mortal Kombat game unless they find some weird way to make that mechanically work with his size. The only times we've gotten Motaro since the arcade era, they had to knock off his back legs. They need to find a way to make him really work though. Even if fighting him as a sub boss, I would be happy with that. I'm sorry, I love Motaro. Give him 4 legs, make him a menacing boss fight, or find a way to develop those back legs and let us play as Motaro. It's really been impressive. We saw traces of Floyd and then he was pulled out and then bam, he's in the game. And really take a moment to think about the Fate Unknown incident. Since then we've gotten content that wasn't predicted ahead of time, but truly NRS is throwing all kinds of names into the files now, knowing that people were digging, and at this point I'm fine with it. I really do enjoy the element of surprise for Mortal Kombat. At the same time, I can't help but get really excited when I do see characters get discovered so we can have those discussions, but moving forward I do think it's going to be more difficult to know what characters we're getting in Mortal Kombat, and I'm fine with that. I really do enjoy speculating and seeing what we get when the time comes. We have just about every sub boss on the Cameo roster, and I know there's some people really excited to see Kentaro come to the game. I don't know if we're going to get him, but I do think it would be amazing. None of us fans know when the tracks are going to stop, so if someone's trying to tell you when the game's going to stop, don't let that discourage you if you're hopeful for this game. Let me know what you guys think about Madam Bo becoming a new cameo in Mortal Kombat 1, and what cameos you want to see come next. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this channel and you want to see more, and I will see you all live and or in the next video. Much love everyone. Take care.